Emmaus is that little village to which two disciples of Jesus were retiring in the evening after it had been proclaimed that the Lord is risen. They walked in doubt over what had happened. They were not certain of the truth of Christ's resurrection. As they contemplated the astounding nature of things, someone joined them. He claimed complete ignorance of what was happening in Jerusalem. The two disciples were embarrassed that anyone who lived around Jerusalem could be ignorant of the exciting news about this great prophet who was ill-treated by the religious authorities of the time and was crucified and buried. The most exciting part of the story was the information the women of their group brought to them that morning, claiming this man, whom they saw buried, was alive. The said stranger then explained scriptures and the prophecies to them until they got to Emmaus. Over the breaking of bread, the stranger revealed himself to them as being the man they were talking about, but before they could say anything, he had vanished. Why am I talking about Emmaus? And what is its significance or relevance to me today? We live our lives in turmoil. The pace is sometimes hard for many of us to keep. The pandemonium we experience today can be compared to the clamor that had caught Jerusalem those days when nothing was certain and people lived distressful lives. With all the hoopla and the threat of victimization, those two disciples were retiring to some place where they could find repose. They were on their way to Emmaus. My attention on Emmaus was caught when, in his usual eloquence, Nyansako ni Nko opened my eyes to what Emmaus could mean to me and others who were attending a groundbreaking ceremony of the church at the Tugobe in Yaoundé. Emmaus should be considered as any place or thing we go to in order to forget the awfulness of life. When we are crushed by the events and circumstances around us, when we are disappointed over the hopes we had mounted about our lives, when our joy has been shattered by the depression we suffer because nothing seems to function rightly, we should take a trip to Emmaus, and there our eyes shall be opened to see God's grace. We should take a trip or retire to some place where we can find our missing selves. We live in a world where promises are broken. Life has become so painful to live. Parents don't know anymore what to do with their jobless children. The future of those children has been compromised and devastated by the selfishness and greed of those who have and would want to accumulate even more. Marriages are breaking up, sadly, for reasons of incompatibility, uncompromising spirits, negligence, and bad faith. Sickness, poverty, and intrigues are killing the people around us, and the efforts being made to turn things around are only cosmetic. Dreams for a better life are crushed, and those who can make a difference in our lives just walk away because they are not satisfied with what they have. This is the time to take a trip to Emmaus, where you would find solace in your inner self. For Emmaus is also a return to the original church where that third person comes in to change your view of life, where your brokenness can be mended, where your despair and hopelessness can be repaired, and where grace that goes beyond death can freely be granted. Let us take a trip to our Emmauses today and open ourselves to listen to the assuring words that say, We should live life in all its abundance, no matter how dreary and rough the times may be. Get out of the confusion, the depression, the uncertainty, the treachery, and the wickedness of what is around you. Take a walk to your Emmaus. You may just be in for a miracle in your life. Take that precious look at yourself and just remain who you are, because you are a miracle.